Hello, hello, hello. We are back for day 7, the day that you have all been waiting for. Yep. Come on in, everyone, and welcome to Jen's Den Art. Say hello. Tell us where you're watching from. Tonight is a very special night. There's Michael telling you all hi. So today, it's what you have all been waiting for. I'm looking around for my painting that I took away from y'all. We are starting on our 3-day floral today. Today is day 7. 7, 8, and 9 are all about our floral, okay? So this is kind of like a compilation of everything that we've been working on for the last week. And we are going to take all of those components that we have been discussing, and we are going to put them into one painting, okay? And at the beginning of the week, actually about a month ago, I asked y'all, for those of y'all who joined, who have been in the Acrylic Facebook group this entire time, I did a poll. I had a survey, and I asked you all, what is the one thing that you like to paint the most? And it was a close race between florals and country road landscapes. So florals won, and this is the floral that I put together for us to go ahead and work on for our final painting. Okay, so yes, Miss Pat, we're going to start from scratch. Okay, we're going to start from scratch. We should have nothing on our canvas at this point, but we will talk about that as we go. Okay, so on day 7, we are going to, I'm just going to leave this right here for now. We are going to start on an 11 by 14 canvas. That is what I am using. You don't have to be using an 11 by 14 canvas. I was going to show you, I was going to give everybody a shout out, but my iPad decided to die on me as soon as I turned it on. So I can't show y'all anybody's shout out today. I'm dead. So I'll have to charge my iPad back up to be able to do that. But I just want to tell y'all, Michael, have you seen all of the work that all of these people are doing in the Facebook group?
I have, and hubba.
It is unbelievable. We are so proud of all of you. Like, there's so many people that are participating in this, and it just makes our heart so happy to know that y'all are enjoying this experience. So I want to make sure that you understand, on February 10th, that is going to be the last day of lives, okay, on February 10th. So we have today, which is day 7, day 8, day 9, and then we have day 10. So we have 4 days left. All right. And after February 10th, or actually on February 10th, everything's going to kind of shift a little bit. You're going to have free replays from the 10th all the way to the 29th. Okay. However, they are going to be private free replays. They're going to be private free replays. You're going to be getting a link in your email for the private free replays that you will have access to. They will not be out to the public anymore. Your opportunity to watch them publicly without signing in is up until February 10th. And then you will still have free replays. You will be getting that link on February 10th, and then you will have the private free replays up until February 29th. Okay, they'll still be free. There's no credit card needed or anything like that. All right, they will just become private instead of public. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And I am going to show you my canvas here. Michael, do you have anything to say? Have I been talking too much, or does anybody have any questions?
You've been talking too much.
I've been talking too much. I know
what experience be put into the tribe you have to yell?
Yes.
Will it? Okay.
Yes. So very good question. I was actually going to address that. This series, this 10-day series, will be added to the private VIP membership. So if you are a VIP member in Jen's Den Art painting membership, you will have access to this as long as you are a VIP member. It's actually, this is the third time I do this Acrylic 101, and it is the building blocks to everything in our membership that takes you through all of the tutorials that we do. So if you don't have that foundation to understand what we're doing in our tutorials, it makes it difficult for you to follow along sometimes. So that is why I want to make this available for you to learn. And then if you're interested in going deeper into your paintings, then the membership would be something to I highly recommend you do. Okay. So
Karen D is on tonight. And Karen D signed up for the VIP yesterday.
yay, Karen! We are so excited that you are here. Yes, some of you, if you are a member of, I will say that really quick. If you are a member of my email, if you get my emails, then you got a special invitation to sneak in the back door into my membership a little early with a little discount. So if you are not on my email list, you may want to get on there. And
Shelly says, how about the Facebook Hub page? How about that?
No.
No?
Just the VIP membership.
And Sandy says, is that different than the tribe?
No, it is the tribe. It is the tribe. Okay. All right. So here we go.
Are you starting with the black canvas?
I am starting with a blank canvas.
Blank.
Okay. This is completely blank. All right. Completely blank. So what we're going to do here today is the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start off, and I'm going to show y'all. I thought I had the photo. Let me make sure my photo gets up here. It went away. I'm going to make it come back. Let's see if it's there. Yeah, there it is. Can y'all see it now? We should have the photo up. All right, so there's our photo. One thing that I want to bring to your attention that I did, and this is just me working with the type of paintings that I do. When I started this painting, I said to myself, okay, I love blue-green, like aqua blue backgrounds, okay? And so I wanted to have that blue-green kind of aqua blue turquoise background. And I wanted to be able to add a little bit of pop to that background. So if you notice, I'm going to show you right here, my strategy here. Can y'all see back here what I have back there? I have a wash that I added. I know it's kind of hard to see everywhere, but you can see it in some places. I have a wash that I added behind my turquoise background. So I added an additional layer before I actually started. And so I'm going to do that now. And the color that I chose is kind of like a red orange. I went directly across on my color wheel from my blue-green, my turquoise background. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to add an orange-red wash before I even start my painting. It's kind of like, it's what they call an underpainting. Okay? So you don't have to do this. It is totally optional, but if you watched all of the videos about our complementary colors and how they work together, you will definitely understand why I chose this color.
Where did you purchase your color wheel? Can you tell?
You can purchase a color wheel anywhere. I would think the purchase of that color wheel was maybe Hobby Lobby in the art section. I don't even remember. So I guess I should take a step back and I should talk to y'all about the colors that I have on my palette here. Okay, so let's talk about the colors before I get started. I'm getting a little too anxious, so let's slow down. All right, so I have a cadmium yellow light, and cadmium yellow medium. I think think it was the medium, cadmium yellow medium. It doesn't matter, just something in that range. Okay, this is ultramarine blue. This is a hooker's green. Okay, just like a dark green, a sap green, or a hooker's green. This is cadmium yellow red. All right, but we've talked about that all week. You can use different shades of red. Okay, this is titanium white. All right, titanium white. This is just an orange, which is not necessary at all. I was working on another painting today and I was using orange, and that's why that's there. I have Mars black. And the last color that I did not really put a lot on my palette, I'm going to put some more, is a bright aqua green. A bright aqua green. And I'm going to stick that one right there. Okay, you can see that color there. So you don't have to have the exact colors. Okay, just basically a yellow, a blue, a green, a red, a turquoise, and then black and white. All right, I don't even have magenta or anything like that on here for now. We are just going to go with this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start by putting down this wash. I call it a wash. It's also just an underpainting.
I can do this part.
Yeah, you can do this part. Anybody can do this part. I'm going to add a little bit of water so that it moves a little bit easier. And you were provided a template in the Facebook group, and I need to add it to our Searchy Hub, or our Acrylic 101 Hub as well. And I will add it to the emails when I send out the replay. There is a template that you can definitely use. I am not going to be using the template on this painting. I'm just going to start from scratch and take you from the beginning so that you can understand all of my thoughts involved in the whole process. Okay. You don't have to have this size canvas. I see somebody says they need to go buy an 11 by 14 canvas. You do not have to have an 11 by 14 canvas. Just because I'm painting on an 11 by 14 canvas does not mean that you have to paint it on the same size. In Jen's Den Art membership, we have all different templates available for the same painting. We have anything from 8 by 10 to 11 by 14 to, I want to say, maybe if you ask us, we will provide a template for you for just about any size that you want, if you want a template. I have my assistant, Cindy. We have a program that we use for our membership students. And if they want a template, a different size, then all you have to do is ask and we will provide. And if anyone asks for a different size template, we just make sure we add it to the library of templates and it's there for you. So absolutely, you do not have to use the same size that I paint on at all.
Will this fit on 11 by 14?
This is an 11 by 14.
Oh, right on.
Is that what you were meaning?
I mean, yes, this will fit on 11 by 14.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just make sure I cover this up really good. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. All right, so that is going to be step one. And now I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to take all the paint off of it first. Take all the paint out of it as much as I can with a rag. Excuse me. And then I'm going to wash it out. And this is how I wash my paintbrushes out. I have this little water tub here. This side of the water tub has some little ridges at the bottom of it. So it allows my paintbrush to kind of scrape against the bottom to get most of the water out. All right. And this side of my water is just clean water for me to use to dip my paintbrush in when I want my paintbrush to just be a little little more moist. And the reason why I don't use the muddy water is because if I'm using a white or a really light color and I dip my paintbrush to get it dark, to get it moist in the dark water, then it's just going to muddy up my paints. And I don't want that. I like to use clean water. So I always have two sets of water, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, so I'm going to put that paintbrush aside. That was just a large flat brush. You can use any kind of paintbrush to do this. You can use a chip brush, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take kind of like a liner brush, just like a regular round brush, and I'm going to use it to draw. And I'm just going to talk through my thoughts in this whole process for you, so that you understand how I'm deciding everything that I'm deciding. So the first thing I'm going to do is when I'm looking at when I'm trying to decide what I want to do, I'm not sure if y'all can see the whole thing. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. I think y'all can now, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm deciding, what I'm going to do as I'm thinking through this is, one of the things is, first of all, composition. Okay, composition, I can. That's what it looks like. Yes, that is perfect. I can see it right there. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so composition, one of the things I'm thinking is the placement of my flowers are going to kind of follow our rule of thirds. And if you noticed in the painting, you'll notice that I had one flower that I really wanted to stand out. Can y'all tell which one that is? If you look at the painting in the top right corner, what color red did I use? The color red that I'm using, Miss K, is cadmium red medium is the color that I chose for this. But you can use any red. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so the yellow daisy, the sunflower, the bottom left sunflower. Yes. Okay, so where are your eyes drawn, basically, is what we're talking about. So we're looking at composition here.
So it's the lower sunflower, bottom left sunflower. Is it the white one?
It's not supposed to be the white one. It's actually supposed to be the yellow. They're supposed to be sunflowers. To me, they were sunflowers. But if they are yellow daisies to you, then that's great. That's fine. They don't have to be sunflowers. So yes. So I knew that I wanted, dealing with my rule of thirds, I knew that I wanted the placement of a couple of these flowers to be in those areas that dealt with using the rule of thirds. Okay, so I wanted my eyes to go here. And not only that, notice that it's a bright, vibrant yellow. Okay, so I also wanted another one to kind of go here. I just made it open up to the top that way. And so those were kind of the placement. Those were the main placements that I wanted to have, because I wanted those to be very vibrant and very big flowers because of where they were. Okay, so I knew that through the process. Okay, and then just a little bit of me and my work, in my experience, things work really well in groups of threes. Okay, so I knew that if I had a sunflower here and I had a sunflower here, in order for my eyes to work well, that yellow, that pop of yellow would need to be maybe somewhere else. So then I said, all right, well, let's just add another pop of yellow right here. So this is how I told myself, I want this to be a sunflower. I want this to be a sunflower. And I want this to be a sunflower. Okay, does that all make sense? All right, and then from there, I just basically just kind of filled in all of the gaps. I just filled in all of the gaps. This was my basic idea though. I knew that these three areas right here were really important to me. And I wanted to make sure that I made my eyes, or I made the viewer's eyes, move throughout the painting. Okay. And then the next thing I thought about was my vase. And I kind of made a boo-boo on my vase.
A boo-boo?
A boo-boo. Y'all know what a boo-boo is?
Boo-boo. Hey, boo-boo.
So if you notice, if you kind of just look at the placement of these 3 flowers, it makes me feel like it's going to be heavy over to the left side here. It makes me feel like it's going to be a little heavy this way because of this big flower on the bottom left. So if I were to do this again, and because that was the first time I ever painted this floral, was the one that you see right there on the screen. If I were to do this again, I would move, and here I am, I'm doing it again. So if I were to do this again, I would move my vase over just a little bit to the left and not put it so centered. Okay, so guess what we're going to do in this one? I'm going to move my vase over just a little bit. All right, so can y'all see? I'm just going to draw right here so you can kind of get a visual of what's happening. This flower is going to kind of lean in this way. These flowers are just going to kind of pop. So can you see how I'm making that composition work for my eyes here in the whole process? Okay, I hope that makes sense. And then, of course, we're going to have our shadow come off this way. And that's a decision of mine. That's just a decision that I had to make through my design of this floral. Which way do I want the sun coming from? So, or the light, or whatever it is. So I wanted the light to come this way. So I'm going to write right here, just so you can see what I'm talking about. I wanted the light to come down this way. Okay? So how we doing so far? Any questions?
Cindy went over to Facebook to comment there.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, Cindy. That's really nice. I'm going to take a sip of water. Miss Betty, yes, we are going to cover it up. If you listen to the beginning of the video, you'll know why I washed with red. It's just a personal preference. Just a total personal preference. So, all right. So I'm trying to let my red dry here before I go any further, but I think I'm going to be okay. All right, then I'm not going to worry about any of the red right now. I'm going to start working on my flowers. And I am going to have some fun. I'm going to have a lot of fun. So I'm going to go down to more like a medium size flat paintbrush. And let's say we're going to go, I'm going to use this one because I'm working on an 11 by 14. So I don't need the end of my paintbrush is about the width of a petal. It's about the width of a petal on a flower to me. You see that? So I know that because of the size of my canvas, the end of my paintbrush here is going to be about the size of the petal. I might make some petals a little bit bigger. And so I have a couple of other paintbrushes on the side, like maybe some of my petals are going to be even that big. So I want to make sure I have a paintbrush just hanging out here just in case I decide to use it.
Jen, why not paint the aqua background, especially at the bottom first? Of course, after the orange dries. Why are you not doing the aqua at the bottom first?
Because I want my underpainting to show through the painting. So I like it. It's totally a personal preference. So you have to understand that just because I'm painting this flower, this floral, just because I'm painting this floral, this color, does not mean that we all have to paint it the way that I'm painting it, or even the order that I'm painting it. I'm just giving you a guide to maybe give you some different ideas for painting things. So yes, I could definitely paint the background aqua right now if I wanted to. But if I did, I would probably cover up my entire red. And so it would be useless to even put the red underneath. If I allow myself to do what's called a negative painting background, then when I am coming in to paint around the edges of my flowers, I'm not going to go as close to the end of the flower as I would if I had the aqua down already. So I'm allowing myself, I'm not quite sure, maybe. Yeah, they are. So I'm allowing myself the opportunity to put the aqua background after so that I can see those gaps of red underneath. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. All right, now on to our flowers. I'm going to start by...
Cindy just said someone on Facebook is asking, what do we do with their dirty water?
Just...
I put LOL.
Yeah.
No, Mom, it's not a question. I think it's a joke.
No, it's not a joke. They want to know what's the sanitary way to dispose of water, of dirty water. But we'll talk about that later. Or you can just Google it and look it up. There's a lot of different answers to that. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start bringing in my... I'm just using black right now. And I'm just going to bring in where I want my main flowers to be, because you know these are the main flowers. So I'm going to kind of baby them. I'm going to make sure that they are the focus of my painting. And by baby them, I mean I'm going to make sure that I make them a very important part of this painting. Okay? And then from there, I'm going to clean that off. And from there, I really just started having fun. I really just said, okay, what do I want to do? Where do I want to put all these flowers? What colors do I want them to be? So let's start talking about all of that. I'm going to start bringing in some greenery, right? I'm going to start bringing in some greenery because with my experience, when you paint a large floral like this, some of your greenery ends up just getting covered up. But you know what? That's okay. So I'm going to take my dark sap green and I'm going to start bringing in some different leaves in different areas, random, like totally random. And I'm going to add a little bit of yellow so that I come in and bring in some highlights. And I'm just going to start, I'm going to try to follow the original painting as much as possible. So I'm looking at that original painting and I'm really staying super loose on where my leaves are going to go. And you don't have to put all of them, but you can see in the painting and in some of those areas we have a few little green areas here and there. So just kind of spread that out and say, okay, that looks pretty good. Now let's clean that off. Okay.
Jen,
yes.
Someone asked about the colors, and this is what I said. Bright aqua green, cadmium yellow medium, cadmium red medium, and ultramarine blue. What did I miss?
That should be good. Black and white.
Oh, black and white.
And if you go back to the beginning of the video, you have access to the replay. You'll be able to get all the colors as well. Okay. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start designing my my sunflowers here. So I'm going to take some of my yellow. Now, there's going to be a lot of layers on these sunflowers. I just want to let you know. So this is just the beginning. I'm going to take some of my yellow. And I will tell you this, if you are using a craft paint and you're using this yellow, you are going to have to put a lot of layers to get the coverage that this yellow is given. This cadmium yellow that I'm using right now is opaque. it covers. You see how I'm only having to put one layer down and it's already covering where I am? That's the difference between professional grade paint and lower grade paint. So here's my first layer of my sunflowers. And I'm just going to work with what's going out right now. I'm not going to work with the other side. I'm just going to work with what's going out at the top. And I'm keeping it really loose. And then down here, this one's going to be facing forward. So I know that I'm going to have some large petals that are just super open. And you see, I'm going to cover up some of that green, but that's okay. Because when I put it down, I didn't know if I was going to cover up that green or not. That's just a part of the process. Sometimes you put colors down and then you're like, oh, well, I didn't even really need that color because I ended up covering it up with something else. But you just never know. Okay. So that's kind of where I'm going to start. And then I'm trying to let this black dry because it's still wet. So I don't want to bring my yellow into my black just yet because it's still wet. And yellow and black make green, and it's just going to make a really muddy color.
Well, you can put black on there.
But yeah, black and white would be your final one. Okay. All right, so I'm going to let this dry for just a minute. And this is when you start getting into those, you start doubting yourself and you're like, okay, this looks nothing like what the painting is that I'm trying to create. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to create. Is this going to work? You know, all those kind of questions start coming in your mind. But I promise you, just stick to it and you will see what happens as you go. So now I'm going to put my base here. And one of the things that I want to do with my base is I want to make sure that when I do put my background down, my aqua blue, which is the same color that I'm using here, it's just a different value. I'm going to make sure that this value here is darker than the value that I put down over here. Okay, I'll say that again. I'm going to make sure that my base is a different value, and y'all know now what value is. Value is the lightness or the darkness of the color that you're using. Okay, so the value on my base here is going to be darker than my background. I'm just going to add white when I do my background.
Well, here's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have turquoise
Mm-hmm.
paint, what do I mix to get that? Or am I ahead and you're going to tell us, you know, what to do?
You can use green and blue. Green and blue. And that will give you. And then if it's too dark, if your green and your blue are too dark, add white to it. And then it'll calm it down. Okay, so I want to now bring in, I'm just playing around with shading, right? So I'm going to bring in, I'm using the blue, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little bit of red and I'm going to mix it in. And if you remember anything about what we discussed, this is a turquoise, okay? This is an aqua. So let's talk about, I'm trying to get a shadow here. I'm trying to get a shade darker. So if you look at your blue-green, all right, you look at on the color wheel where your blue-green is, okay, which is kind of the color I'm using here. If I mix an orangey red with it. Remember what happens when you mix complementary colors together? If you mix complementary colors together, you're going to get something that's kind of like a grayish. Okay, so I'm taking this orange red that I used for the background and I'm mixing it in my turquoise, my blue green, and look at the beautiful color that it creates for me. It almost creates like a purplish shadow or shade.
Wow.
So isn't that nice?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to bring that in. You can see the shading there that has just occurred.
Oh, nice. Susan says I have phthalo green and I added white. Perfect turquoise.
That's a beautiful color. Phthalo green is a beautiful color. Yes, indeed. Yeah, isn't it fun to mix paints together? I love doing that. I'm sure y'all could tell by now. Okay, now I'm mixing a little bit of white in that same turquoise because I want to add just a little bit of highlight on this side as well.
So we don't have to add all the flowers in the original painting.
Yeah, we will eventually.
No, they don't have to. They can make it their own if they want.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole goal here, y'all. I want you to be able to take this and create your own unique piece. But hopefully by using the techniques and the tips and the tricks that I'm teaching you here, you can create something just as pretty or even prettier, you know? So take your time and have fun. I'm stopping for a second to take a sip of water, y'all.
Is that really water?
Yes, it is. It actually has liquid IV in it to give me some strength.
Checking you out.
Okay. So what do I want to do now? Well, you know what? Look at all the colors that I have on my palette right now. And I'm saying to myself, I really want to bring in some of those red flowers in here. Okay, kind of like that reddish orange because of all the colors that I have. And I'm going to take some of this away so that it does not make too much of a mess when I grab my red. Because I mixed some other colors in there, right there. All right, so I know it's going to be kind of hard to see, but I'm going to take a little bit of black and I'm going to mix it in my red to make it like an even darker red, almost like a maroon. And I'm going to start with a darker red. And right underneath this sunflower right here, I'm going to do almost like a rose.
Did you get that orange gesso at Blick?
I don't know. Do not know. I can share it in the Facebook group with y'all. And I'm going to start with a, do what?
That's what Cindy was asking.
Do not know if I did or not. It's called Holbein, Holbein. So I know that I'm going to put a flower here. And I'm going to use a little bit more of that red. And I see one that I like. I'm going to put another red flower right about here. This is just the base layer, okay? So it doesn't even really look like a flower, but I'm giving myself the idea that this will become a flower as we go. I need some more red. What'd you do with the...
Oh, here you go, boo. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I keep my paints in a little basket while I'm using them. Michael stole my basket away from me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. All right. So this is a cadmium red medium that I'm using here.
And you did do the orange gesso first and then the cadmium red.
No.
Oh, no, you did not.
I started with white. I just started with a plain. Instead of orange gesso, I used red instead, just red paint.
So you did not orange gesso?
Did not.
Right on. Okay.
Did not. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to fit that other. I might make it really small I'm going to fit another red flower right here. That's pointing down. I'm going to try to stay as close as I can to the actual photo. Maybe I'll do one right here. A couple of little red flowers. And that may be all the red I want. I'm going to now go into some oranges. So I'm going to grab a bunch of yellow and I'm going to make an orange with my red. And that is not a pretty orange. So let me talk to you about what I just discovered through this process so that you can educate yourself on what not to do. Okay? So let me show you what I just did. I took this cadmium red, which the cadmium red is a very warm red. And I added this cadmium yellow to it. And I want you to see what it made. It did not make a pretty orange. It made an orange, but it made a very, very warm orange, like almost brown. Okay? So I am saying to myself, I don't like that. I don't like that orange because it's not vibrant enough. So I'm going to clean that off with my paintbrush. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm either going to find an orange in my colors that I own, like something like this. Okay, see the difference in the vibrance? All right, I'm either going to find one that I already own, or I'm going to mix my oranges with a red that is more, quinacridone red is my red that I love. And this is only because of experience, y'all. This red is a cooler red. And when I mix, I'll show you the difference. See the difference in these two reds? This red is a cooler red, meaning that it leans more towards the cool tones, the cool colors. And then I'm just going to put this orange down so you can see it. I want something more like that. That's what I like. So if I take this yellow again and I mix it with this red, watch the difference that this makes. Again, you do not have to mix, but I'm just trying to teach y'all more and more stuff because there's so much to learn. Now, you see how pretty? And then if you add
Celsius is good too.
I don't know Celsius. Is that a color?
I don't know. Maybe she's talking about temperature. I like Fahrenheit. So.
I don't know that color, Cindy. I need some more yellow. You see how much more vibrant this orange is? I know it's kind of hard to see because of the glare, but you see how this orange was coming out kind of brown, and this orange is coming out a lot more vibrant. You just got to keep on adding some yellow to make it more and more vibrant. So, if you don't have, what's wrong?
I don't know how to say that.
If you don't have, even though it's not the same vibrancy, that's still more vibrant. If you don't have a bright orange, you can always try to mix one and find one like this. Okay? So that's just a little tidbit there to hopefully help you. And I'm going to take that orange. I'm going to take this one right here. And that orange color is just going to start coming in just very few areas. It's not a really prominent color in this painting, but I'm just going to stick it, and I like this one better. Just going to stick it in a few areas here. Okay. All right. What do y'all think so far? There's a lot of work to do to this, and that's why we're going to take 3 days to do it, because I want y'all to see all of the different types of, options and color palettes you can use that will help you in so many ways.
Question, do
Yes.
you always start with the darker value of the flowers, then go lighter?
I do. Well, I say I do, but if you look at my sunflowers are pretty bright right now. And the last thing we're going to do today, because this is going to be a 3-day painting, I'm not going to finish it today. I'm going to start bringing in some of those shadows in my sunflower. So I'm going to use a little bit of this cadmium yellow, and I'm going to add that red to it. And I'm going to start bringing in some of those darker shades, because on a sunflower, you've got those darker shades coming in right by the base of the flower. So this is just another layer. Y'all, we have a lot of layers. So don't look at this and say, oh my gosh, please don't look at this and say, this is a horrible painting. This is so ugly. It is. It looks bad right now, but you have to give it time to make it what you want it. All right. I'm also going to add the second side of my sunflower, since they look so crazy. Okay. And the second side of my sunflower, I want this sunflower to look like it's pointing up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in this yellow here, just on the base of this black. And I'm just going to make it look like they're turning this way.
Oh, wow.
So I know it's not perfect. I don't like perfect. Y'all know that. So you just have to allow yourself some looseness here to make it all work. So I'm kind of hugging, I'm trying to hug up this area right there.
Hug up?
Hug up. Like I'm trying to make the sides hug. It's probably not. I know it's not an art term. It's my term.
I like it.
And then I'm going to do the same thing to this one. I'm going to push some petals up, and I'm going to make them kind of curve up here. And again, if you have a yellow that is super transparent, you can just add a bunch of layers.
So that's what Lisa didn't ask, but she said, did you use a light shade of yellow for the petals going up?
Actually, I used straight out of the tube cadmium yellow light, and it is an opaque cadmium yellow, which means it covers. It has very, very good coverage. So that's why the red doesn't even hardly show through. But it does show through a little bit. So I'm coming back over it right now, and I'm adding a second layer so that those petals are starting to pop a little bit more. Okay, and I'm going to do that here as well. I'm going to add a second layer of cadmium yellow.
Rhoda likes those petals.
Yeah.
I got a question, and no one asked this.
Okay.
But on the original painting, you got that background.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how you're going to do that background with all this red, orange.
I know. It's really hard to visualize. I know it is, especially if you're trying to bring in a bunch of colors and then you've got this red just shining in your face. It really, really plays with your eyes. So It's very difficult to see, but I promise you, trust me.
Okay.
Trust me, trust me. Okay. And so I'll look at this right now and I take a step back and I'm going to let this dry overnight. Again, I'm not even close to being finished. I definitely see right in the middle, there's something missing. Like I'm going all around, and there's nothing right here. So I start kind of getting nervous for myself as a painter. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, well, what am I going to do right here? I got to do something. And so we're going to talk about that because that happened to me when I started painting this. And you can see what I did. I just went ahead and added like a big, I chose the color purposely because what's a complementary color to my yellows? Okay, what's a complementary color to my yellows? Purple.
Pepper.
Okay, yeah, pepper. And so I knew, okay, I don't want another flower that has the same shape, but I do want something that's going to complement my flowers that I have going on in this little triangle right here. And so that's why I chose that. And it ended up working great. It ended up working great. So we're going to talk about that some more tomorrow about how to make those decisions on flowers. I bet y'all didn't think, let me try to get my mouse to work here. I bet y'all didn't think that there was that much thought process into the whole floral, did you? But I'm just talking out loud, sharing my thoughts with you to help you understand how I chose the colors, the composition, the values, all of those kind of things to be able to create this piece. So Miss Ruth says, this makes so much sense. Well,
Yes.
good. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be able to take these ideas from my brain and how I create my things. And I want you to be able to apply those ideas to your own work. Okay, that's the whole premise of why I'm doing this. And if you can feel confident enough to do these kind of things, then we would love to invite you to come and paint with us on a weekly basis. And you will be so surprised at what you can do in our membership. So I am going to call it a day today. We're going to let this dry. Don't show too many people yet because it's a work in progress. We're still working on it. I'm just joking. Show as many people as you want because you know it's going to end up being beautiful. And Michael is coming in to give us our farewells. By the way, in the Facebook group, I will make sure that I put our winner for today in the Facebook group because we are giving away prizes every day for our participants. And is there anything else I needed to say today that I was going to remind y'all about?
Tomorrow, same time.
Tomorrow is same time.
Right.
Yes. Tomorrow is
Day 8.
Day 8. We are going to work on our floral.
Right on.
And try to catch up. Okay, awesome. I don't see any questions right now, so that's good. I see thank yous, so that's really nice. And I'm going to give Michael the floor right now. He is our cheerleader and encourager.
Hey, trust the process with this painting.
Mm-hmm.
Just trust it. Make it your own. You want to add a leaf in the middle? Great, do it. I am a firm believer in making things your own. Quick lesson that I was doing my Bible study this morning. Do you know what our purpose is? Our purpose? Not ours. All of ours. To glorify God and to enjoy Him forever. That is our purpose in this world. And you can do that. You can do that with painting, and you can do that with a kind word, and you can do that with your actions every single day. So I want to encourage you with this prayer that we will go forth through this evening and into tomorrow being strong, being unbashful and unashamed of who we are and how we act. So let's pray. Father God, thank you for this evening. Thank you for loving us and caring for us and guiding us through this painting. God, we would ask that you would watch over all of the tribe sisters and brothers and all those that join us during this 10-day challenge, God, and that you would strengthen us through this evening and into tomorrow, God, giving us a power unlike those that are around us. Father, we love you, we praise you, and we thank you for the blessings of life. For it is in Jesus Christ's name that we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Right
Amen.
on.
Thank you very much for that,
Right
Michael.
on.
Thank you all so much for being here. And we'll be back tomorrow for some more.
Yay.
By the way, even though your painting is not done, I would love to see your day one floral in our Facebook group, because we all love to see where everybody is, and we love to help each other and support one another. And
someone posted an old church and I'm ready to look at it.
oh,
Robin-
yeah.
Robin did,
I
so.
did. I saw it.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's in the tribe.
Nice.
It's in the tribe. All right. Y'all have a great night.
Bye.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey,
Bye.
we love you.